it's Chef Jess, and I'm here to teach you how to make a chicken shawarma rice bowl in your Instant Pot. So it's only going to take one pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, check our website and I'm going to have the recipe for you to do on your stovetop. It's not that much different. The only difference will be the time that it takes. And so the steps are pretty much the same, but you're just going to have to change your times up. So chicken shawarma isn't usually with rice. You usually have it inside a pita or wrapped up. But this is kind of a knockoff on that really famous chicken shawarma place that you might know of. I won't say names. And so there's that garlic white sauce that goes on top. We're going to do something different. If you would like to know how to make a garlic white sauce, they pretty much just, and so I'm talking about halal guys, it's mayonnaise with garlic and a little bit of lemon. There's some spices in there, but it's a base of mayonnaise. So I don't like it that much. I like just a regular tzatziki, which is what I'm gonna show you later on. But we're gonna make the chicken shawarma and rice portion first, let that go, and then we can continue on. Again, this using an Instant Pot during the summer is amazing just because it keeps your house nice and cool. Right now, I have my Instant Pot on a saute function. And so it's saute high, it's on high, and it says hot right now. And that means I'm ready to add my oil. So I'm just gonna coat the bottom with a little bit of oil. And then I've got 2 chicken thighs that I'm not gonna cut up, but they're boneless, skinless. I'm gonna take 1 lemon though. I'm gonna give it a good roll. I'm gonna need about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. If you're ever thinking that your lemon just isn't juicy enough or doesn't seem to want to give you any juice, go ahead and put it in the microwave. If you put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds or about 20 seconds, start with 20 seconds, it'll soften it up and you'll be able to use it for anything that you want. So I'm gonna put it in my juicer and I'm just gonna give it a squeeze. I only want about 1 tablespoon, so I'm just doing approximate. Doesn't matter exact, because that's the beauty of cooking. So this is the secret combination or the things that you need though. Got garlic powder. I sneak in a little cardamom and smoked paprika if you like, coriander, cumin, and oregano. So I'm gonna add that into my chicken. And I'm also gonna squeeze a little bit more oil on my chicken, and then I'm gonna give it a good mix. And this will be the chicken that goes on top of our rice. So when you make this, you usually use basmati, but if you don't have any basmati rice, that's perfectly fine. You can just use a long grain. So you do want a long grain though. So long grain rice and regular long grain rice. And so now my pot says hot again. So I'm gonna take my chicken and sear it off. Not to cook it, but just to get some color, to get some good sound going. There you go. Now I'm gonna put my bowl aside. I'm gonna let that go while I get my veggies ready for everything else. So I'm gonna do, like I said, a base of rice. In my rice, I'm gonna actually add cumin and turmeric to give it that nice yellow color. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic too, and I'm gonna add more to that. But I'm also going to add some vegetables. So I've got some cauliflower and broccoli going on. I'm gonna trim them just so that they're a little bit more bite-sized. So the way that you do that is you're gonna cut through and then peel apart. That way you don't have any waste on the bottom, because if I did this, which is just cut through, I'm left with all these little frilly things or little pieces of broccoli. Instead, cut through your stem and then peel it open. And that way you're not left with a whole bunch of waste. And you can just go around and do this. It's gonna take about 10 minutes to cook. Total will take about 20 to 30 minutes though. 10 minutes on the Instant Pot function. The Instant Pot cook function. So I'm really not gonna touch my chicken right now. I'm waiting for it to sear off really nicely. And I'm gonna pick it up now. I'm gonna see what it looks like. Nice, and so I got some good color going on there right now. All right, so while we wait for that, I'm also gonna add bell peppers inside too, and onions. So I've got 1 red bell pepper. I'm gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna take off the stem portion. Just like that. And then I'm gonna do slices that I'm then gonna just cut in half. I'm going to cut in the inside, if you can tell. I'm not cutting on the outside because the outside is slippery. And then I'm just gonna stack these up and cut them in half because I don't want them to be too large. I'm gonna add that to my veggie mix too. And one more time on the other half. So this is gonna be heavy on the veggies, which I like, but if you wanna cut back on it, you can, and you can use any veggies that you want. Say you don't have any broccoli or cauliflower lying around at home, no problem. What I like to do sometimes is just carry a big bag of spinach at home. And with that big bag of spinach, anytime I'm cooking anything, I'm gonna just add a handful at the very end, and it just makes everything healthier at the end. So I'm gonna take off the end. This is the frilly part that grows out. I'm gonna cut that off, and then I'm gonna cut this onion in half. This is a ginormous, not as an understatement, I feel like, red onion. You would probably only need one small red onion. You don't need a large one. But I'm gonna use some for my sauce too, my tzatziki, which isn't traditional to add red onion, but since I have it, I'm going to. I'm gonna give a dice, not a super fine dice, but a decent dice, because I want to be able to see the onions, but at the same time, not be overwhelmed by it. So I'm gonna keep a little of this on the side later for my. All right, so I got that going on now. We've got some good color on the bottom of this pan. What I'm actually gonna do is take my chicken out, and I'm gonna deglaze my pan a little with the chicken stock that I have reserved. And if you notice, I'm not gonna cut that. I'm gonna take a little bit of chicken stock and deglaze that. Just get all those good bits up. That's it. That's all good flavor that you have going on in there. All right, you've got all that good stuff going on. I'm gonna add my garlic now. So you can add a little bit more garlic if you want. I've just got a little bit, 1 clove or so. Since I have some garlic inside the chicken marinade too, or the chicken seasoning. And I'm gonna add my turmeric and my cumin. I'm gonna add my onions. And then before I add all my other veggies, because I want the rice to be orange or like nicely colored and seasoned, I'm gonna add my rice on the bottom. Give it a good stir to coat everything, and then add everything else. So that's good to go. One of the other things you can think about adding in here are lentils. They're just gonna make this dish that much healthier and heartier too. I'm gonna add that in there. This is enough to serve 2 people, so I'm doing a small portion. If you want to do more, you can go ahead and do more too. All right, so that goes in there. And I'm gonna add my pretty veggies. Give that a good stir. All right, that's looking nice. And I'm gonna take my chicken and lay it right on top of it. Just like that. And any kind of juices that might have accumulated. I don't want them touching each other, but there they are. That's good to go. And then I'm gonna evenly distribute my chicken stock. You just want to make sure most things are submerged, except for the chicken. The chicken doesn't need to be submerged. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen after it's done. We're going to give that clean up. Put this lid on. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pressure cook on high for 10 minutes. And we'll see what happens after. All right, everyone, our chicken shawarma bowls are almost done. So before I finish them off though, I'm gonna show you 2 quick sauces that you can make. One's a garlic sauce and then one's a tzatziki sauce. So for the garlic sauce, this makes a lot, but like my husband says, you can put this on anything, including chocolate chip cookies, and it would taste amazing. So it's really easy to make. It's Lebanese.
but you do need a lot of garlic. So I have about half a cup of garlic cloves right here, and I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm gonna add salt. And so you're gonna add salt that's gonna act like little knives. If you've taken any of my classes before, I like sprinkling salt on top of garlic because it acts like another kind of cutter, I guess is the best way to say it, and then it minces the garlic up for you. And so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna mix it on up. So I'm gonna turn it on, I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm gonna scrape. Because the goal for this is actually to get almost a paste going with this, and you're gonna keep doing it. That's why you have to do so much of it at once. You wanna make sure that your food processor can handle all of these great ingredients. So what else I have going on is olive oil, lemon juice, and ice water. So if you've ever been to a Middle Eastern restaurant, you'll see that they'll give you this white, fluffy looking stuff. That's exactly what we're making right now. And I think we're there. So once it's almost like mushy looking, that's exactly what you want to look for. And then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of ice cold water, because I'm gonna start drizzling in my olive oil, and when I drizzle in my olive oil, the ice water will help it fluff up. So I'm gonna hold that still, and I'm gonna drizzle in my olive oil. With this nice creamy white sauce. This is just garlic, so please be careful when you serve this. It can be pretty strong. If you feel like it's not fluffy enough for you, or you want it a little bit fluffier, go ahead and just, when you're doing the garlic portion, make sure you puree it a little bit more. So that's all that it is. You've got this ready to go, and you can serve it with your tzatziki sauce, which is what I'm going to show you next. So that ready to go. Beautiful. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to move everything aside, and I'm going to show you how to make a quick tzatziki. Grater, cucumber, and then some mint. You can use dried mint too, and it's a 3 to 1. It really up to you how much mint you want or don't want in your dish, I guess. I'm gonna use my garlic sauce in my tzatziki, so I'm not gonna add any garlic, but if you want to, go ahead. So I'm gonna take off one end, and I'm gonna use a large size, and you can dice this if you want. I like tasting big chunks of cucumber in my food, so I like to dice it, or I'll use the big grate. You can also use the fine grate, so you don't have to grate it this large if you don't want to. But I'm gonna do that much. Just 1 small Persian cucumber. I'm gonna make sure I get all the good stuff out of here. I'm gonna squeeze out the excess water into another bowl. So if you've ever noticed, cucumbers have a lot of water. We don't want cucumber juice in our yogurt sauce. We want lemon juice or just the yogurt. So we want to make sure we take that out. I'm going to add that into my bowl, and then I'm going to grab my mint. I'm going to take my leaves off. Most of the time you find dried mint. I ran out of dried mint, so I only have fresh mint ready to go. I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to give it a good chop, just like that. I'm going to add that in there as well. And then I had some leftover red onion from the dish. This really doesn't need to go in there, but I like the bite of having raw onion, and so I'm gonna go ahead and finally chop this up. It was an awkward shape, sorry, so it's not. Don't want to let any food go to waste though these days. I'm gonna go ahead and use it up. Sorry for the messy cutting board, everyone, but it's all good stuff that goes in there anyways. All right. That's it. And if you are scared of the taste of onion, don't add it. And to remove that really kind of like bite that you get from red onions or onions in general, just soak them in a little bit of water. All right, so I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna add add in too, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then I'm gonna use about a cup of Greek yogurt. I like using Fayet, really up to you what kind of Greek yogurt you want. You can also make your own with your Instant Pot. So that's the other great thing about the Instant Pot. If you've never made yogurt in your Instant Pot, that's one of the #1 things I teach my culinary med students how to do. Because yogurt can get kind of expensive, and it's so easy to make, and it's so healthy for you, and you can do so many different things with it. Why not just make it on your own? So there's your tzatziki, ready to go. The other things you could add to this would be sumac. If you've never tried sumac before, you could add some sumac in here. You can add some cumin and coriander, which I seem to add into everything, so I'm gonna avoid it since it's inside the dish already. And I'm just gonna keep stirring that around and it's ready to go. So our chicken and rice has been in, it's done, and it's been sitting here for about an extra 10 minutes. Usually by 10 minutes, this little guy will have gone down, but it has not yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna vent it, and you'll notice that there's not much to go. Usually when you're doing this, it'll take a lot longer. But usually I would say about 15 minutes max is how long it would take for all the extra pressure to go away. And if you really are in a rush, you can always take like a item and push that down, but please be very careful. This is all hot. I act like it's not hot because I've been cooking for so long, but it's very, very hot and you will burn yourself if you're not careful. So you're just waiting for that little button to go down. So if you notice, there's still pressure, but that's it. So I just pushed it down. I'm gonna turn it around and then vent it. And there you have your chicken and rice ready to go. If you want, the next thing that you would do is you can take the chicken out and then broil it. So if you broil your chicken in the oven now, then you get that really, really nice shawarma effect from it. I'm gonna push everything aside on my cutting board just so that I can show you what this chicken looks like though. So I'm gonna pick it up just like that. And you can tell that I can't even pick it up. But I'm gonna take it out. A rough chop on it, and again, this is when you can decide whether or not you want to put it in your broiler to broil it, or you can serve it just like this. And the beauty of this is that that rough kind of chop makes it really pretty. But if you really wanted a crispy shawarma, which it's supposed to be, you could stick this right back in your oven and you're ready to go. So hope to see you again soon. Bye.